welcome to Numbers Ace Jacari. I'm your host, Ace Jacari, but you can call me Ace. In today's episode, we're breaking down the February 2026 forecast because we're stepping into a universal 3-month and it's universal 1 year. So make sure you go ahead and grab your beverage, get comfy, lock in on a task, and let me yap in the background. When we'll go ahead and break down what's going on this month and grab my Finding Your Chart, the guide, to understand what numbers in your chart are going to be active during each day this month, which we'll get into a little bit more later. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about 1 and 3's relationship. 1 and 3, though they don't sit in a specific type of relationality of like, oh, they are reflections or their polarity. They do share themes around potential, creativity, ambition, confidence, influence, adaptability, drive, pride, perfectionism, restlessness, and impulsivity, which is a lot of things. They also share an odd number status, which makes them both externally focused. So think other people, other things, society, anything outside of yourself, interactions, experiences. Those are external things. So those spaces are also going to be impacted in this universal 3-month. They also share an immature status, which also makes them show up as a little bit more straightforward, but potentially idealistic. So not completely aware of the intricacies, but more so focused on the big idea. Now, I might have gotten a little bit ahead of myself because we didn't even talk about the calculations. Universal years are the digits of the year simplified to a single digit. So you get that 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6, which simplifies to 10, and then that 1 plus 0 equals that 1. And then for the universal month, you add the digits of the month for the year in question until you get to a single digit. So we would add this 2 of February 2026 to that 2, that 0, that 2, that 6, and that equals a 12, and that 1 and 2 equal a 3. And that specific type of 3, simplified from a 12, makes it an exalted 3, which is the most complex form of 3 based off of Vedic systems. This specific simplification highlights change and development and progression, expression, movement, ambition, even drive and scatteredness and impulsivity, as well as a connection to areas of self and also areas of emotion because of the supplementary 1 and 2, respectively. But 3 being the final digit and therefore the dominant energy connects to social spaces, while personal and emotional spaces are represented by that 1 and 2 that is sitting supplementary. When we look more into that 3 specifically, we get connections to expression and creativity and development and magnetism, as well as that recklessness and that overwhelm and obsessiveness and impulsivity that we've mentioned before. So what do we get with this overall theme of 3, this exalted 3 energy for February of 2026? We obviously do get an impact to social spaces because that's the area of life that 3 connects to, as well as expression and creativity. But with the complexity of the exaltation of 3, that complexity is also in regards to those social spaces. So this isn't necessarily, social spaces being calm, cool, and collected. They might be a little bit more scattered or more layered, or they might be more diverse. There's more intricacies, more complexity in those social spaces, as well as in all these other themes that we're also going to get into. When we talk about social spaces, this means social media, third spaces, concerts, events, outside on the street, anywhere where there are groups of people, and also even what is socially acceptable in those social spaces. We also get impacts to popularity and influence because those are dominant 3 themes, as well as three themes that are shared with 1, specifically influence. Popularity is a 3 theme. So this impacts influencers and people who have gained popularity for something and are known for something, but this is also not even just on social media. This is also word of mouth, recommendations, and things of the sort, but also who have people and groups like conglomerates and large corporations that are moving as a unit per se. This also can shed light or show a possibility of gaining popularity or gaining influence in this upcoming month for people who either have an exalted 3 or have strong relationality with the number 3 in regards to they have a personal 3 year, or they are in a personal 3 month, or they are having they have a 3 placement somewhere in their base chart, and that is being activated in this 3 month. Now, a theme that is not really commonly talked about when it comes to 3, and also kind of the number 5 too, is humor. What people might find funny, what is considered funny in social spaces, is being brought up in this universal 3 month. So we might see impacts to what is humorous, what is entertaining, what brings a smile to somebody's face or might experience some level of joy or enjoyment from something that is funny, and what those things are. We also have, of course, impacts to expression and creativity, because those are areas that 3 connects to. So this is what is socially acceptable. What is socially acceptable in regards to creativity and expression? What is created and who gets to create that art? Whose creativity is popular and socially valued? What does expression look like even for you on your own time, even outside of that social space? Because we do have that 3 being simplified from that 1 and 2. That 1 does connect to self. It highlights that individual. So with that individuality being brought up, we're then considering not only what is socially acceptable, but is what is personally acceptable, what is personally created, what do you value, what do you express, and how do you express, and how do you alter yourself in social or communal spaces, because 2 connects to community as well. Now, when we talk about the start and the end of the month, there's typically a difference in energy. But because February starts on a 1 day and also ends on a 1 day, because it has 28 days this year, we have the start and the end of the end of the year, or end of the month, my bad, being in the same energy. So we're starting this month off in a 3-4-1 energy, which is going to be on a Sunday. That 3 is for that universal month, that 4 is for that universal day, and 1 is for that universal year. So this brings themes around possibility, expression, and innovation, because those are themes that all 3 of those numbers tie into. So getting into more specificity, we can look into the fact that those combinations bring experiences with progression, movement, ambition, vision, creativity, recklessness, and impulsivity. And not only is that impacted or showing up in the beginning of the month, that's also how we're ending the month. So the difference between these 2 days would be the fact that we're starting the month on a Sunday and ending it on a Saturday. Sunday is ruled by the sun and also rules over the number 1, which is brought up in this universal year. So this highlights energy, illumination, clarity, and identity. Those are all sun-related themes. And because the sun connects to the number 1, we can also see that show up in the number 1's presentation. Now, when we get into more details about the energy behind this particular day with that sun rulership in mind, we get 3 being this, which rolls over this entire month, seeking experiences around or with creativity, interaction, playfulness, essentially what is enjoyed. And then when we get into that universal 4-day energy, which is going to be showing up on universal or on number 1 days this month, which we'll get into a little bit more later, we're seeking experiences with progression, liberation, and movement. And then when we look at the entire energy of the year with that 1, we're seeking experiences with initiation, amplification, and authenticity. So that is how we're starting February. But when we look at the end of February, we still do get emphasis to those themes, but I can give you a little bit more context. 3 can also bring and seek experiences with expression, popularity, potential. That 4, which again shows up on those on those number 1 days, which would be your 1st, your 10th, 19th, and the 28th, is seeking experiences with rebellion, stability, and vision. And then when we look at that number 1, we, again, for the entire year, we're seeking experiences in regards to self, in regards to identity, and also in regards to passion. So those are all things that are starting and ending this month. But the difference for the end of the month is we're ending on a Saturday. So this brings up Saturn themes because Saturday is ruled by Saturn. So we highlights time, boundaries, and discipline and other Saturnian themes. So based on looking at the start and the end of the month, this entire month has overarching themes around creativity and expression, popularity, luck, aesthetics, vision, follow through, pleasure, and enjoyment, as well as how this month will feel having this dominant and repetitive 4 energy. But let's get into a little bit more of what each of those sections mean and can bring. So creativity and expression is all very much reminiscent of what we were speaking about earlier. Creating the art and sharing it is a very big thing. What art is being shared? Are we really just keeping everything on the hard drive in the back? Or are we actually sharing it with people? Because 3 connects to those social spaces and it encourages that interaction and it wants that experience of some sort. So it's not to say solely just to share your art, but maybe even being mindful of who you're sharing it with, where you're sharing it, how you're sharing it, who is it shared with, and going and exploring those things. When it comes to popularity, luck, and aesthetics, that comes from 3's Venus and Jupiter rulership, and those themes are likely to show up because of Venus and Jupiter. When it comes to vision and follow through with the month, starting on a Sunday, which is that initiation, that start, that push, that drive, and then ending on a Saturday, which highlights a time, a discipline, a focus on a goal and trying to achieve that goal. We're looking at, what did you spend your time on? What did you achieve or even work towards? How did you spend your time this month? Because 4 does have a Saturn rulership of its own, and that ties into how we're starting and ending the month. Now, when we look at pleasure and enjoyment, that is another Venus thing, and again, 3 is ruled by Venus. So it's not only what looks good in regards to that aesthetics, but also indulging and exploring in what feels good as well. And moving on to the final point of this month will likely start and end with a bang because we're starting with 4 days. This brings up 4 themes of liberation, rebellion, stability, responsibility, efficiency, revolution, secret enemies, judgment, isolation, all being brought up even before we're moving into a universal 4 month in March. And all of that can be potentially overwhelming and overstimulating because 4 has 5 rulers of its own. It also is a fire-ruled number. So there's a lot of intensity, a lot of energy, a lot of passion and movement behind this energy. And with it being an even number, it's an inner-focused energy. And that inner focus definitely changes where those revolutions and rebellion and liberation is happening. It's likely happening internal. But if you are intrigued by what you're hearing and you do want to learn more about it, go ahead and grab my Finding Your Chart, the guide linked below to learn more about your personal chart and your forecast, because you do have more than one personal year and they might not be the same number. So you definitely want to check that out. And if you want to understand more about what each number means, 0 through 9, go ahead and check out Intro to Numerology to understand your number basics and what they mean in conglomerated numerology, which is a blend of Chaldean, Pythagorean, and Vedic systems, using their terminologies together to basically understand numbers even better. But if you need to take it a little bit slow and you just want to understand your base chart, check out my free Unlock Your Numerology Chart guide that comes with a video series that guides you through number basics and each page of that book. All of the links are in the description of this episode, but let's go ahead and get back into this February 2026 forecast. Getting into these universal day calculations and number days, and what are they? Your universal days are calculated the same way a life path number is calculated, adding your month, your day, and your year together to get a single digit. Universal days are the numerological energy that everybody is under for that day in that calendar system, because different calendar systems are in different universal years. So that would change the universal months and the universal days. We're using the Gregorian calendar for this. So if you're in 2026, you're okay. You don't have to worry about it. When we're looking at number days, those are simplified based off of the number. So for example, 5 days, number 5 days are the 5th, the 14th, and the 23rd, because they all simplify to 5, which is how we're able to define the universal days and the number days that they're on, which is why the first of the month isn't going to necessarily be a universal 1 day. It's a universal 4 day, because when we add all of those numbers together, we get some version of 4, depending on the day that we're calculating from. So starting off on number 1 days, which would be your 1st, your 10th, 19th, and the 28th, those are going to be universal 4 days. These are most likely impactful for literally anybody with any number. 1 through 9, you're being impacted. 4 is ruled by the North Node, Rahu, Saturn, Mercury, Uranus, and it is a fire-ruled number. And then the number 1 is ruled by the Sun and is a fire-ruled number as well. They share that fire rulership, which brings them shared themes around fire. So action, passion, energy, those are all shared themes between them. So the energy of the day is very passionate, it's innovative, it's influential. When we look at those 4 themes of progression, innovation, and spiritually guided action, alongside those 1 themes of starts, passion, and amplification, we get a reminder of what you should do, being pushing yourself, doing that hard thing. With 4 having that Saturn rulership, there's a connection to also stability and foundation. So building what you want for the future. Take action that influences your future. Where do you actually want to end up? And honoring that vision. You're also reminded to see the big picture and figure out what can be done to achieve that. A lot of times people will say that I have this goal, but I can't achieve it because of X, Y, Z. How can we figure out how to achieve it regardless with what we have right now? How can we get there? What is needed? What skills do I need? What people or spaces do I need to be around, especially spaces in this Universal 3 month? And also, finally, take up space on these days. Don't be arrogant and egotistical, but know yourself and show up with confidence. When we move on to our Universal 5 days, which are going to be on number 2 days, which are just going to be the 2nd, 11th, and the 20th, we also, again, have impacts for everybody. One of the things when I was planning for this episode that I noticed, I was like, wow, there's a lot of impactful days for everybody. And that is very true to A3 energy of its social. Everybody's included, everybody's welcome. And you can see that a lot in these specific number days. But getting into the specifics of these Universal 5 days that are once again happening on the 2nd, 11th, and the 20th. 5 is ruled by Jupiter, Mercury, and is an Earth-ruled number. 2 is ruled by the Moon and is a water-ruled number. They don't share a specific type of relationality, but looking at their themes together of what they each highlight, 2 is emotional, 5 is mental. So the energy of the day is emotional yet mental. Finding that balance between those things, with 5 themes being around thoughts, curiosity, and expression, and 2 themes being around feelings, community, and balance. You're encouraged to explore the connection between those two, as well as peeking outside of your comfort zone in those spaces, because 5 is adventurous, so try to lean into that. 2 seeks comfort. It wants to feel safe. It wants to do what is comfortable. It wants to do what is best in regards to those emotions, not necessarily always leaning into the logical side, which is what 5 does. So peek outside your comfort zone, explore that, lean into that 5's adventurousness. We're gonna go with it, and keep pushing, as well as sharing your true feelings. 5 does rule over communication, and 2 does connect to honesty. If you've been holding something back, and if there's something that you wanted to share your true feelings. Be honest. Let your emotions become words, truly. When we move on into these Universal 6 days that are going to be happening on these number 3 days, which would be your 3rd, your 12th, and your 21st, those are likely to be impactful for those who have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, or 9 in their numbers. And with 6 being ruled by Venus, Jupiter, and the element of water, and 3 being ruled by Jupiter, Venus, and Mars, as well as the element of ether, you can see the clear shared rulership of Venus and Jupiter between 3 and 6. So this brings the energy of the day being creative, as well as expressive and passionate, with 6 themes around passion, aesthetics, and comfort, and 3 themes around expression, social spaces, and luck. We're looking at doing what feels good, sharing what feels good, and also what's fulfilling. Venus loves to feel good. 6 loves to feel good. And 3 also loves to feel good because of that Venus rulership. So not only doing what feels good, but making sure you're taking yourself physically and energetically. You get that physical side from that Venus or that 6 placement, and you get that energy ruler or energetic placement from that 3's connection to ether. So taking care of those spaces. So this can look like cleaning or cleansing the energy in you or in your space or in your body or in your mind, clearing out that energy, clearing your physical space, cleaning or protecting your physical body. Whatever taking care of those physical or energetic spaces looks like for you, definitely do that, as well as pouring into your passions and where your soul leads you. It's not so much about being practical, because 6 does love itself a little bit of delusion, but doing what feels good. Where are you trying to go? Where does your soul want to go? And just honor that, whatever that looks like. Now, when we get into Universal 7 days, those are going to be happening on the 4th, 13th, and 22nd, and those are going to be impactful for, again, everybody. 1 through 9. If you have any of those numbers in your chart, you're likely to be impacted on those days. But you obviously have to have at least one of those numbers, at least 3 of those numbers in your chart. But anyways, 7 is ruled by Mercury, Neptune, the South Node, Ketu, and is a water-ruled number. 4 is ruled by the North Node, Rahu, Saturn, Mercury, Uranus, and is a fire-ruled number. These 2 numbers sit in polarity with each other, but also share a Mercury rulership. So this adds a mental layer to it, a thought layer to the energy of the day. And their polarity is highlighted because of their south node and north node rulerships respectively, and that Ketu and that Rahu, because those two placements on each side oppose each other in different systems. So when we look at the energy of the day, we're exploring the balance between the future and the past, liberations and fantasies, progression and nostalgia. So this can feel a very ungrounded energy because there's nothing physical in it. It's looking at those drastic opposites of this on a similar vibration of things. They don't reflect each other, but they are on opposing ends of the future and the past. Nothing is in the present. So with 7 connecting to the themes around the past, fantasies and nostalgia, and 4 connecting to themes around the future, liberation and progression, be mindful of feeling ungrounded and being mindful of rumination or anxiously thinking about the future and being worried about something that you don't know yet and you can't control either. Being mindful of those things is a very big thing for this specific day because we're so on these two opposing sides. So recognizing how the past can impact your future and exploring what you want the future to look like could be beneficial. Being able to lean into journaling and breath work and things like that. Because with the escapism, the mystery, and the uncertainty in the air, participating in those grounding practices can feel comforting, can feel beneficial. And the things that are similar to journaling and breath work, that could be moving your body physically, that could be doing something that is very much tied to the right now. Whatever that looks like for you can be helpful. But if you want to seek comfort in that unknown, in regards to you want to lean more into the detachment of the energy, meditation, visualization, and things that are similar can push you more into that detachment, more into that space of future and past, because we're not really in the physical. We're not really in the present when we lean into those spaces. We're in a state of in between. And that can be what you want. So honor what you want for those days and lean into that. When we get into our universal 8 days, which are going to be happening on our number 5 days, we have impacts to those who have 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9 in their numbers, with 8 being ruled by Saturn, Pluto, and the element of air, and 5 being ruled by Jupiter, Mercury, and the element of earth. We get a very strong impact to areas of knowledge, genius, and wisdom. With 8's connection to time, determination, and control, and 5's connection to wit, intellect, and simulation, the knowledge that you have and the things that you have learned and maybe even have taught yourself are being brought up. This could be a long-awaited aha moment for you. So using your skills and your mind to your advantage can be beneficial. So you could build something, learn something, teach something, share something, whatever that might look like, of using your skills to your advantage. Because also 8 does connect to your career. So if you want to do some career building this day, I would suggest it. Also finding balance, because of speaking of career, finding balance between work and play. 8 connects to that career, 5 connects to that playfulness and, in a sense, a childlike spirit. Finding that balance, because it's not always all about works, it's also not always about play. So finding the balance between those two and being able to work with both. And also recognize your relationship to control and spontaneity, because 8 rules over control and 5 rules over spontaneity. So finding what your relationship with those things look like. 5 loves to think, it loves to process, it loves to explore, because those are all themes that it rules over. So experiences in those areas are being brought up. So what can we do? What can we do in regards to maybe journaling, conversations, therapy, and other things that are mentally stimulating to help us explore or recognize our relationship with control and spontaneity. Now, when we get into these universal 9 days, which are going to be happening on the 6th, 15th, and 24th, which are our number 6 days, It's likely to be impactful for anybody who has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, or 9 in their numbers, with 9 being ruled by Mars, Neptune, and is a fire ruled number, and then 6 being ruled by Jupiter, Venus, and the element of water. The energy of the day is really tied to creativity, comfort, and avoidance, with 9 connecting to ending, strength, and clarity, and 6 being connected to pleasure, enjoyment, and romance. We can see how pushing through our discomfort, because 6 avoids and 9 dissociates, pushing through discomfort might not feel the most comfortable thing to do, but 9 highlighting connecting to transitions also brings a level of push to it. There's a change here, and we might not like the change. The change might not be comfortable, but pushing through that could be beneficial. And also, maybe listening to the fact that you're not ready to push just yet. Maybe you need to sit with the discomfort a little bit longer before you take more action. But making sure that wherever you decide to go, because 9 does connect it to awareness as well, wherever you decide to go with the discomfort in mind, honor that. Be mindful of that. Be aware of that. But also on these days, especially with this discomfort in mind, take care of your mental and your physical health, okay? 6 connects to that physical, 9 can tie into a spiritual/mental side because of its connection to endings. So taking care of that spiritual and that physical along with that mental is also beneficial. Being mindful of avoiding, dissociating, and disconnecting or overindulging, basically essentially saying struggles with imbalance and extremism. Be mindful, be careful, know your limits and be aware of them. And if you don't want to push past those limits, honor that. If you do want to push past those limits, recognize why. Recognize, is it healthy? Really explore and be intentional with it. Open your mind to the awareness around that situation, and don't go into too many things blindly, because it can get shaky real quick with that 9 energy in there with Mars and Neptune and fire. It's a scary time sometimes. But moving into our universal 1 days, which are going to be happening on our number 7 days, the 7th, the 16th, and the 25th. These are going to be impactful for those who have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9 in their numbers, because with 1 being ruled by the sun and is a fire ruled number, as well as 7 being a Mercury, Neptune, South Node, Ketu, and water ruled number, they do share a odd number status, making them both externally focused, but they also do share themes, which creates the energy of the day around inventiveness, originality, and imagination, with 1's connection to initiation, passion, and starts. 7's connection to mystery, delusion, and the past, acknowledging how the past is impacting where you're starting now can be beneficial, and how the past created what you're imagining now, impacted what you're inventing or creating now, impacting how does it impact or connect to what is original and what is where you started essentially. Maybe you want to build something new or reconnect with something you were building before and bring that thing from the past back to life in the present, but ultimately stay true to your vision. Honor what you see for yourself. Whatever that looks like, honor it. When we move into our universal 2 days, which are going to be happening on our number 8 days of the 8th, 17th, and the 26th, we have impacts to those who have 2, 4, 6, and 8 in their numbers, with 2 being ruled by the moon and water, and 8 being ruled by Saturn, Pluto, and the earth. 2 and 8 sit in reflections, which makes the experience with exploring the relationship between protection and privacy, connection and separation, community and career, the dominant thing for the energy of the day, because reflections are 2 numbers that are sitting on opposite sides of the same vibration. So 2 is highlighting that protection, connection, and community. And then on the opposite side, we have 8 highlighting privacy, separation, and career. So what do? 1, sit with your feelings, because 2 does connect to your feelings as well. Sit with your feelings, acknowledge them, acknowledge what they're trying to tell you, as well as acknowledging the boundaries and limitations that you might need or might need to be adjusted or to be put in place or to be removed completely, whatever the case may be. Acknowledge those boundaries, because those are another place where 2 and 8 can sit in opposition. 8 instills those boundaries, whereas 2 might avoid or find discomfort in boundaries. So building a balance between not only that emotional and that detached, which 8 can sometimes be, but also finding a balance between your goals and in your career, as well as your goals and community spaces as well. Now, finally, getting into our Universal 3 days, which are going to be happening on our number 9 days, which would be the 9th, the 18th, and the 27th. Those are going to be impactful for those who have 1, 3, 4, 6, and 9 in their numbers, with 3 being ruled by Jupiter, Venus, Mars, and Ether, and 9 being ruled by Mars, Neptune, and Fire. 9 and 3 share not only an odd number status, but also that Mars rulership. So that makes the energy of the day very externally action-focused, stimulation, and impulsive, with 3's connections to interactions, possibility, and influence, and 9 is connection to endings, strength, and clarity. Pay attention to your impulses and reckless behavior. I'm not necessarily saying that it's a bad thing to be those things, but be mindful. Pay attention to them. Also, being mindful of the people and the things that you're engaging with and you're giving your energy to, because energy exchanges are very impactful for those, or for 3 and 9 together, especially with that Mars energy, that action, that stimulation. Energies can be really chaotic. So prepare yourself for that energy exchange, as well as potential transitions, because 3 and 9 both bring change in their own ways. Now, if you do want to understand or calculate your personal days for 2026, you can definitely learn how to do not only 1, but 2 calculations in my Finding Your Chart guide, which is available in the description. But that's all I have to say about February of 2026. It's gonna be a wild ride, but welcome. Thank you so much for listening to this. Share this with somebody who you think would want to hear about February 2026 and what it will look like. Make sure that you at least join the email list at numerology.com to get all the updates and access to all products and services. And if you have any questions, hit me up, DM me, email me. All the direct links are in the description of this episode, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.